Hey, what's up? It's Vince Leah from VinceLeah.com, and I'm hanging out with Cobi Kanani again.
That's me.
Now, Cobi, we were talking about different food and how different foods react with different people. And you were specifically telling me about your journey and some of the experiences that you've had playing around with different food ingredients and recipes. And I thought it'd be cool to share with people what you've gone through, so when somebody's watching, they can kind of figure out how to make changes in their diet and find out what works for them.
Because that's the issue, right?
Yeah.
It should really be the listen to your body diet. Whatever anyone tells you, whatever you have read, whatever you have heard, whatever you think is working for people on social media, it really is about how it resonates with us, like our belief system, and then how it manifests on a physical level.
Yeah.
As a woman of a certain age, I'm finding that some things work and things that I thought were really great before, my body has changed, and if I want to continue to thrive and not just survive, reevaluating, I think every 5 to 7 years is a great idea.
What were some of the foods that you were eating that are healthy foods?
Yes.
That people can eat, but were giving you specifically issues when you started this process?
So when you're plant-based or vegan, as you know, most of our protein is sourced from legumes or nuts, and then we're all really into quinoa and all of the healthy things. So I thought I was like the healthiest person ever, except for the French fries. And then I was kind of getting ready to have surgery last year, and so just wanted to be at my optimal health. I went to my naturopath, and they did the muscle testing because I thought it was just certain grains were causing me reactions. So I had already given up gluten, I'd given up sugar, I did not give up salt because I'm a savory snacker, and why would I give up my reason to live? But I'm not having copious amounts, but I know when some people are doing, elimination diets, they're like everything, all of it out. So I started thinking it was just an issue with grains, and I was like, wouldn't it be really cruel and unusual if I was the only Asian person that couldn't have rice anymore? Because I'm already the only vegan that's allergic to avocados, as we know. No! The cruelest trick by the vegan gods. So I was like, let me get this rice thing checked out. So sure enough, they're doing the muscle testing. You hold the little vial, you hold out your arm. Oh, let me do like this. Hold out your arm, and then they push down. And if you resist, if it's strong, that means it's something that is resonating with your body and it is nourishing you. And if your arm dips when they muscle test, that means you're having an adverse reaction to it and it's causing some sort of inflammation or distress in your body. So we do rice, we do buckwheat, we do quinoa. And so I was like, okay, this is a piece of information, not that I was just taking the muscle testing and going, oh, I can't eat all of these foods. But at a certain point, right, as vegans or anyone who has a plant-based diet, if you've already given up gluten, things like that, it can start to feel a little bit restrictive. So the first thing I had to do was really just wrap my head around it, that I'm not being restricted. Again, just like at any time I could make the choice to consume animal products, I could make the choice to feel bad and continue my wicked ways, whatever I was doing. So what I did is I just juiced for a week. I kind of let my body detox from everything that was causing, and again, I do not have the level of discomfort that probably, people with extreme celiac, IBD, as you've told me, colitis. It wasn't that sort of thing, but I was a person that I would eat a meal and I would just boop, 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 just go on with life. I didn't need a nap. I didn't need to undo my pants before. I didn't have a 3-month developing food baby. All those things were little triggers before. I would notice something when I would eat certain things, like quinoa, hummus, right? What vegan does not eat hummus, right? I was like, this is just something that I have all the time, and I would always think it was something else. Yeah. So as soon as I took that week and just let my body rest from everything, and then kind of just started reintroducing the things that I would have. So it was my hummus, my wraps, my veggies, my quinoa, Buddha bowls, again, clean food, but it was one ingredient was still bothering me. And how it manifested for me is I can always see it in my face. I go from having a chin and jaw to just getting really jowly, like in 1 or 2 meals, it can bloat me that much.
Wow.
And then again, like the food baby thing, I'm not talking about you just need to unbutton that top button. No, I was the octomom. I was gonna have like octuplets. And really, I had just eaten hummus, was making it that painful for me.
Wow.
So I started doing a little bit of research, and that kind of led me to the FODMAP list of foods. And I was shocked that it had never hit my radar before.
Yeah.
Because people have been talking about it. There's packaged food you can get in the grocery store. So I'm not going to go into all the science of that part, and there are great resources. If you think you have any food sensitivities, I would recommend looking at those lists, seeing if some of your favorite foods are on the top of the high, and then take a look at the low FODMAP foods and kind of see how you can incorporate more of those things in your diet and see if you notice any changes. So again, as a woman of a certain age, like we're going through all kinds of hormonal stuff. So my sleep wasn't great, last year, now that I think about it. But a lot of times we can just attribute these things to, I'm stressed. I'm traveling. It's Tuesday. there's all these reasons. And then as soon as I took the time to go, I think it has something to do with my diet.
Yeah.
I finally feel like now it's about 6 months since I had, my surgery, which that recovery went really well. Thankfully, getting myself into gear ahead of time. So I would highly recommend. So my symptoms, the face, the sleep, the bloating. But I think sometimes we don't realize the obvious, that food can just affect our mood so much.
Yeah.
That word, stress, it's come up a lot for me and the people in my life recently. I was like, what is stress? What does that even mean? And it's really like our reaction to something versus just a response, right? Like how we're elevated in that way. I really have found when I've taken out certain things in my diet, like sugar. So I think sugar is an emotional trigger for me. I think it's not doing great things with the hormonal situation I'm in right now. And taking out gluten and taking out these triggering foods, which for me were the legumes, kind of in general. It's not that I'm not eating beans, I just have to be really deliberate about when I do prepare them myself. And a lot of times, like the fermented foods will be better. So I had to give up soy in a lot of forms, but I can still do tempeh.
Yes.
I can still use miso as a condiment. And there's little changes like that. So tahini is bad, right? That's from sesame seeds, and it's just ground up sesame seeds. And I'm like, oh no, as a vegan, I'm never gonna be able to have tahini again. No, I mean, I can still have miso, even though it is from soybeans, because it's fermented, so you can still get that, savory umami when you want it. So again, it's just finding things that work.
Yeah. How long was it difficult for you to once you kind of found the trigger foods, was it difficult creating recipes and eating, or when you go out, or did you find that wasn't as hard as you thought it would be?
It's really not, because I would say say you had 100 foods that you started with, right? It's about 70 that remain, and it's about 30 for me that are really triggering. And again, when you first see that high FODMAP list, you're gonna think it's everything that you eat on a vegan diet. But you just have to go through the list and figuring out what your triggers are. Because I think one of the highest don't eat it things is cauliflower. And cauliflower does not give me a problem at all.
And it's good to get a food sensitivity test,
Yes.
When you're starting. That's what I did. And I discovered that for me, brown rice, which is the healthiest rice you can have when you talk to everybody, it's something that I'm sensitive to. So I really have to watch, how much brown rice do I have? What has brown rice flour in it? So you really pay attention to that a little more.
Yeah, I also learned about digestive enzymes. I'm taking a probiotic, and that's really helped me. I would take it before, but I wasn't diligent about it, right? It's making a commitment to something, and I'm definitely committed to it now, because I realize that if I don't, my system goes into attack mode. Anything I put in, it's like, oh, it must be bad for us. Just get that. So we're not in that stage anymore. But I think everyone should at times evaluate their diet, see what's working,
Yeah.
and proceed from there.
Yeah, I think it's important to find out what works best for you. Not taking, hearing your story, something, quinoa, but it doesn't mean the person, if you're watching, it doesn't mean quinoa is bad for you.
Right. I'm the only weirdo, probably.
Quinoa, avocados, what else?
And garbanzo beans, yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah.
But at least it's not coconut water or chocolate. I mean,
Or
could be
fries.
Or potatoes.
Potatoes?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Small miracles, Viv. Small miracles.
All right, awesome. Well, thanks for taking some time out of your day just to talk about this and share your journey with everybody watching. So hopefully that's something that everybody can learn from and just find out what works best for you moving forward.
So as I relaunch my channel, obviously my recipes will be more low FODMAP focused. So if you need some inspiration, come and check me out.
Cool. And her channel will be linked in the description box below. So if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel as I post new videos every week, and join the Fit From Food notification squad by clicking on that bell next to the subscribe button. And remember to keep living Fit From Food. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.